Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 627, we're going to talk about Phylath, the World Sculptor. Yeah, we're going back to Zendikar Rising for a moment. Did this because, well, I got it finished. That's why. So, Phylath is a 6-mana 5/5. When it enters the battlefield, you get a plant token for each basic land you control. So you get a bunch of plants. In theory, at least 6, but, maybe not. But then a landfall, oh wow, you put 4 1/1 counters on a plant you control. When I read Phylath initially, I thought of one card, and it was actually the last card I needed to get from the deck, and our good friend Mr. Chris Thompson donated it. Avenger of Zendikar. I mean, as if this card needed help getting better, right? But it creates a bunch of plants. Same thing. And then this puts a counter on your plant team. So, we have a couple things going here. Number one, this is mainly a landfall deck with a slight smattering of +1 goodness. Let's look at our +1 goodness. Anyway, Genesis Hydra is not bad, but, more than likely it's just a huge creature. You get to free something out of the deal. Evolution Sage has, spelled out landfall, but this was in a world where landfall wasn't a keyword, so, nah. Proliferating. Pride Malkin. Giving them trample. It's not bad. Inspiring Call and Invigorating Surge are really good. +1 count. But now, that being said, let's look at our ramp, of which there is a bunch. Now, there's not a whole lot of artifact ramp here. I'll try to get all of it at once. It's not really sorted. We have the Talisman of Impulse, the Gruul Locket, Gruul Cluestone. The reason why I like, in the Gruul Signet, I like to include those is mainly for color fixing more than ramp per se. Because there's, in decks like this, it's obviously going to be skewed a lot heavier to one color than another. So the signets, all of the artifact ramp helps smooth out if you need that red and don't have a mountain. So we have Double Meat, Double Cheese. Rites of Flourishing. I recently bought 77 copies of this one because I was tired of running out. It's a great card. Calling Heart Expedition, Rampant Growth. I'm just going to roll through these because this is exactly what you would expect. Kodama's Reach. Beanstalk Giant's a good card on both sides. Elysian Carry. It's a circuitous route. Spring Bloom Druid. Vine Trellis. Fertilid. Here again, ramp, landfall, and +1 counter synergy. Search for Tomorrow. Harrow. Far Wanderings. Farseek. Job, the Llanowar Elf. Zerta Druid, because, why not? And then, Walking Atlas, it's going to be ramp half the time, essentially, because half the time you're going to have lands in hand and half you won't. Return of the Wild Speaker and Thrill of Possibility, the draw spells. Now let's look at the landfall portion. There was a couple of cards I had to put in here. My 3 favorites for landfall. We all know about Rampaging Balos. Omnath is just a beautifully sweet card. Really, really is. It's Kool-Aid Man, Omnath, and then Scoot Swarm, because, this single card caused them to put a limit on Arena as to how many tokens you could have. Because people making millions of tokens was melting the server. It's beautiful. Then we have stuff like the Geode Ranger, which is a beautiful card. If you're making a couple land drops a turn. Now, this would be awesome. Preface right here. if you've got another copy of Azusa, or there's a bunch of ways you could upgrade this deck. Azusa with the Geode Ranger or Rager is because if you can make the 3 land drops a turn, you can never get attacked. What? Awesome. Adventuring Gear, Jaddy Offshoot, Spitfire Lagak, Akum Hellhound, Zendikar's Royal, because, getting free 2/2 creatures is never a bad deal. Canopy Baloth, Brushfire Elemental. Yes, I love the showcase cards. Kazandu Nectarpot, Territorial Scythecat, and the Skyclave Pickaxe, which is the same as the other one. It just equips for free the first time. And then other random creatures here that are not landfall, they're just kind of, I just wanted them in. Like Mina and Din. 2 lands a turn. It's not bad. Carnivorous Moss Beast. 7 mana to put a counter on it is a bunch. Yes, I'll admit that, but we have a ton of mana. We have a ton of land, and we need something to do with it. Turntimber Sower. Wall of Blossoms. I know it's not a beater. It does replace itself in the early game. It can save you some life points. And it works really well with stuff like Horned Kavu, and all of those comes into play creatures, which there's evidently not a bunch. Balloon Hulk, maybe. Proliferating. Mastodon, because why not pass out Trample at will? Moltani, not bad. You control and your graveyard. And Skin Shifter. Kind of light on the removal, it looks like. Naturalize. Ground Assault to get rid of that one creature. Artifact Mutation. And then Comet Storm is pretty much player removal. Yeah. Enough mana and late enough in the game, and you can kind of, wipe up what's left. And I know this is the second Gruul deck in a row. I just wanted to mention, it's just how it happens. Lands, we have a Command Tower, Mossfire Valley, the Pathway that flips to whichever side you want. Kind of like those. I like them for 2-color decks because we can play them with stuff like the Ravnica block bounce land. If we just get color hosed on one side and we need that thing to flip, you can just bounce it back to your hand and replay it as the other side. Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, Temple of Abandon, Jund Panorama, Blighted Woodland, the Guildgate, and the Rugged Highlands. So I know we rolled through that one pretty quick, but it's pretty much your standard landfall deck. That there is some things that we could do to upgrade it, but I like. Did I play this one? Somebody played this one because I had to sort through the lands. I think it may have been me. I don't remember. So, let's go put 627 onto the wall. And that is it for Phylath. Gonna try to just keep rolling these. I don't know how far apart. I mean, there's gonna come a time where we got all these Commander Legends ones. And I had, 5 left from Zendikar Rising that I haven't done yet. And then the Walking Dead ones came out on top of that. Now we're staring down Kaldheim. So right now in between sets, this is the time where I have to make up ground. I would normally make up ground, but thanks to the volume of the legendary creatures that have come out in 2020, it's time to play catch up. So that's what I'm doing. I do appreciate y'all watching. As always, we're going to shuffle and cut.